Good morning. How are we? Just let me double check that I'm actually live because I have that wee moment all the time. There we go. So let me know how life is. Welcome to Tarot Insights. I'm a day early because I'm going to be traveling tomorrow and I'm not going to get a chance to read your cards for the week ahead. So I thought I'd do them today. And I just thought I'd jump in on impromptu. So I'm not really expecting anybody to be here, but you can pick it up on the replay. That having been said, if you are here with me, make sure you say hello and let me know. And if you're watching on the replay, leave me with hashtag replay. I'm not gonna lie, the cards this week, we have four majors. And I'm like, right, okay. The something big is coming, right? So let me know, as I say, if you're watching live, let me know so I can say a wee hello. I'm just going to pop this up on my phone as well because sometimes I don't get to see if people are commenting. It just lets me know if there's someone about. So if you're here with me, give me a wee hello, and if not, leave me a hashtag replay. So I've pulled the cards as usual from the Lightseers Tarot. Say it every week, but I'm going to say it again. Current favorite deck. But what I wasn't expecting was four major Arcana cards to jump out. So those of you who know anything about the tarot will know that the majors are the big stuff. It signifies if we get a major arcana card in our spread, we've got to pay attention to it because it's telling us this is the big thing you need to watch. But we got four today. So, and they're big hitters. They're not even like all the majors are big hitters, but the four that we've got today, something else. So, because we have got strength, but we have got the world, and you're thinking, oh, that's lovely, it's all good. Yeah. Then we've got the tower and we've got the death and rebirth card. So we have got a lot of energy to work through this week, right? We've got loads going on this week. And it'll just be interesting to hear your point of view as well as to whether there's stuff going on in your life that you can resonate this with, or whether you're like, oh, now I'm not going to lie, I'm taking a short sort of a should I say a long weekend break with the family. We're going to Iceland tomorrow, and if you've been watching the news, you'll know that there's an imminent volcanic eruption. Now, Iceland is a volcanic island, so it's nothing strange or startling from the point of view of there being a volcano about to go. What is difficult is obviously for the people in the area who have been displaced and have had to leave their homes and things like that, and there's no sign of it sort of um, them getting back anytime soon. So I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the tar card, I thought, oh, okay, okay, perhaps the imminent chaos is the fact that maybe this is for me. And the more I sat with these cards, the more I thought, well, yeah, there's a distinct possibility of that chaos happening, but there's also I think I'm feeling at the minute with everybody around me and the people, the circles that I'm operating in. I'm seeing it with my clients. I'm seeing it with the people that I'm working with. I'm seeing it with other business owners and with people just generally in this space in the online world. I'm seeing that there's a lot of leveling up. People are actually starting to level up and starting to take responsibility for their lives. And when we do that, when we start to shift into different spaces, it can feel chaotic. It can feel like there's all manner of crazy happening and that, there's chaos and we're not sure maybe what end of us is up. And it can feel like a bit of a dark night of the soul. Um, and couple that then with the death and rebirth card. Now, this card has made an appearance a couple of times, and I know when I'm looking at these, the overriding feeling I'm getting from these is that something has to give now. You have to finally let go of either an old way of being or an old situation or something that you're in that finally needs to go. Because the thing about it is, if we don't willingly decide to dive in and let go of it, what will eventually happen is that the universe will just come in and take it. And that's whenever you have that whole sort of world has been turned upside down, the chaos and the sort of complete manicness of the tower. So it would be interesting just to know, what's going on with you at the moment? How are you feeling? Okay, because there's a lot of stuff going on, and across the whole world there is this energy, this chaos. Everything's got very fast. Everything's got very noisy. Everything's got very, it's almost like we're on a juggernaut to complete and utter annihilation because we're just constantly pushing forward. But the thing about it is that collective energy, it kind of is infiltrating, I think, it's infiltrating into our psyche and into our awareness as well. So I think the Tower is coming in, yes, as a bit of a buckle up because changes are coming whether you want them or not. Be ready for them, expect the unexpected, right? But when we look at this card, there's beauty in it too. We've got the lovely I think it's like it's a wee squirrel. It's a wee squirrel. Wee squirrel at the bottom here, and we've got, it's coming out of its wee den. There's like a butterfly of transformation here in this. There's a couple of the flames are looking more like butterflies as we go. So there's like the elemental energy of fire and transformation. And we've got then this beautiful light that's in behind. And it's almost like once the dust settles and the rubble clears, and it's like, right, okay, breathe. There's always light in that real darkness. Sometimes we have to have those dark nights of the soul. Sometimes we have to have the pain and the trauma and the chaos, because otherwise we're a wee bit like creatures of habit. If we don't get uncomfortable from time to time, if we don't get pushed or poked a little bit from time to time, we kind of just stay stagnant, stay where we're at, because we're creatures of habit, aren't we? We tend to just sort of mosey along, and it's only then if we're not being mindfully aware and not actively trying to self-develop and grow and be aware of our consciousness and our spirituality and the fact that we're here and this is our earth walk, we can just get really complacent and just fall back into old ways. So the tower's coming on nearly as a way of saying, listen, it's time to really pay attention, because what needs to change, you'll know there's something maybe in your life that needs to give, that there's maybe maybe an old pattern of behavior, an old mindset that needs to shift. Maybe you need to do a lot of deep identity work. That can feel very, very shaky. We can sometimes feel very, very. I've been doing a bit of identity work lately and diving down into shadow work a little bit, because it's one of those things that the more we want to raise our awareness, the more we want to step up and raise our consciousness and our vibration, the deeper we have to go. We've got to dig those roots down deep, and that means sometimes looking into the shadow, and that then can cause this sort of fracture where you're nearly sort of causing a chaos for yourself, because you're having to shed an old identity. You're having to shed an old belief, maybe an old story. But the lovely thing about it is that with the death card coming in, it's saying to us that it's a necessary thing. We've got to let go. We've got to let the chaos happen, and then we've got to allow it to be cleared away, so that within that chaos, within that letting go, within that shedding of the old skin, shedding of the old identity, leaving the old parts of ourselves behind. And yes, it might mean that maybe there's a relationship that needs to go. Yes, there's maybe a job that needs to change or go. Maybe you need to step into a new location. Maybe there's things in your life that you're wanting to need to be shifted up and changed. It is perhaps time that you allow that then, so that the death of that old situation can come in and the new fresh energy can come. You can see inside the death card here, we have got this lovely um star-like energy, so after the chaos of the tower and after the chaos of the dark night of the soul, we then allow this to welcome in, and we clear, because as it says on the card, it's death and rebirth. It is a cycle. Look at nature. Nature right now is letting go of everything. All the leaves are coming off the trees. Everything has started to die back. Everything has started to pull back its energy. It's withdrawing back into itself to recharge and be ready to be reborn. So I would encourage you to think of the same vibe for yourself. Where do you need to pull back the energy? Where do you need to let stuff go? Where do you need to level up? Okay. So I'm thinking these two cards have come in to tell us there's a lot of changes coming. So we've got to buckle up, right? But it's not all doom and gloom, okay? Because we've now got these gorgeous cards as well. We have got the world and we've got strength. So the way these actually fell out of the deck was that um, we had the strength card and the world card came out first, and then the tower, and then underneath the deck, I always like to turn the deck over to see what subconsciously is going on, and the death card was there. And what I actually noticed as well was no matter what cards I would have picked, the next few were all majors as well. So again, there's a massive significance here. But when stuff like this is going on in your life, whenever you're doing this deep identity work and you're trying to really, we sometimes scratch the surface and we're doing all the things, right? We're doing all the things. We're going, working in our business, we're working in our jobs, we're looking after our family, we're looking after our friends, we're doing all the things, we're scratching the surface, we're doing a bit of self-care, doing all the things, but we're not doing the deep work, right? We're not really diving deep, 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 you know, into this lovely sort of space of holding that energy for yourself, being able to level up that consciousness and push yourself out of that comfort zone a wee bit where it does feel a bit scary and it feels like, oh, it's all going to go horribly wrong and we'll have all this fear, to allow the fresh energy to come in, the new rebirth. And that needs strength. It needs strength. Quiet, gentle strength. Okay. What I love about this card is that in the traditional rider, we've got the woman dressed in the robes and she's taming the lion, and it's about maybe taming those animal instincts and about diving into the strength. And in this one, she is half lion, half woman, but there's a little lamb sitting beside her, and it's almost like you can have that deep strength within you when you go through stuff, when you go through these dark nights of the soul, when you go through the pain, go through whatever's going on, illness, hardship, bereavements, all the different things. I'm personally feeling it at the minute. We're approaching my mum's anniversary. She died last December, and it's approaching that time, and I'm just recalling back how it felt this time last year as we were in those final weeks of her life. And today is my late father's birthday as well, so it's all kind of hitting me today as a sort of, there's a lot of emotional energy in there. But with that, we need strength. With whatever changes are coming, whatever, unexpected stuff's coming in, we often talk about riding the waves, and we've got to do that. We've got to allow that in, but we've got that to have that quiet strength. Where does it come from? Well, it comes from deep inside your heart. It comes from deep inside your soul space in here. And this is what I love about this card, because she's so open. Look how open her heart space is. She's got a little heart stone round her neck. She's very open here. And the little lamb at the bottom is telling us of the gentleness. There's this real gentle nature, isn't there? And then she's half lion and half woman. So it's like the strength of her. She is embodying her lion, her lioness, her spiritual power, but she's doing it in a gentle way. She is mindfully aware of how her energy is impacting herself and others. She is coming from a strength of an open heart. And this has been a message that's been coming up an awful lot in cards personally for me, as I've been doing this deep identity work and challenging myself to step up to the next level and making some decisions in my life and my business that are a little bit scary. Because if it's not scary, then you're not challenging yourself enough. There's got to be a wee hint of like, oh, squeaky bum. But it's got to be done, right? This beautiful card, the strength card, is reminding you that with an open heart, you are so strong because your compassion shines through. If you've ever tapped into the Heart Math Institute and listened to anything they have to say, they have measured like the field, the electromagnetic field that comes from the heart space, and it's 60 times stronger than that comes from the head. So it tells us that an open heart space is massively strong, and yet we tend to close off when we're frightened. So I think what our cards are telling us this week is, even if stuff's going all crazy around you, it's really important to stay calm, to operate from a place of mindful strength and mindful awareness, because that is where your true strength lies. It lies in an open heart. It lies in a space where you are being totally yourself and you're walking through that journey that you're going on, that path that you're on right now. You're walking through that with an open heart that you're noticing. So you're noticing when you're feeling you've got the wobbles coming, when you're letting stuff go and you're having the sort of the painful endings of letting things go and bringing new things in. You're allowing that, you're being mindfully aware. Instead of closing off the heart to it and being traumatized by it, what you're doing is you're opening that heart and letting your quiet strength serve as a beacon of light to yourself and to others around you who might be looking to you for inspiration. Particularly if you're in this type of work, people might come to you if you're one of like I've been working in Soulfire this week in my free event that was running this week, Monday, Tuesday, and tonight. We finish it tonight. Um, and the guys in there have been fabulous. There's some really wonderful business owners in there who are really soulful and who are really wanting to bring their gifts to the world. But sometimes we're frightened. Sometimes people are not sure how to go about it and they're not sure what steps to take, what to do. And we've been working on that this week about our vision and our balance. And tonight we're going to jump on a Zoom call and do a bit of strategy work. And inside that container, you know, I've been encouraging them to step into their soulful heart space because it's from that place that they find the strength to then be the beacon of light for their clients and for the people they want to attract into their world. And I think the strength card is reminding us that strength does not have to be volatile. It doesn't have to be aggressive. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to have rigid control about how everything's going to happen. It's about leaning into it and standing in your own power, standing in your own strength, standing in your own light as you navigate all the apparent chaos of the tower and you let go of all the stuff that's shown up and that needs to go as a result of the death card. But what we then have is we do have a full circle then. And the Wheel of Fortune card, so the wheel comes out to say to you, listen, this is a natural cycle. Okay. And this is where it's really important. And again, if you're stepping into your own power and you're stepping into your own divine awareness of total abundance and joy of life, no matter what's going on, even in the chaos, there's always something to be found. As I said earlier, sometimes whenever all the nonsense hits a fan and we're all like, oh, this is awful and everything's terrible, in the midst of all that chaos, magic's there in disguise. There's little bits of light in there. There's little blessings in there. You think back to all the times where things have gone awfully wrong. There's been some lesson that you can take from it. There's been some growth because that's why we have these things come along to help shift us, to help move us, to help us grow and continue on our cycles and our paths. And the wheel then reminds us that everything will come full circle, that there is infinite abundance out there. There is an infinite level of light and joy and goodness in the world as well. We just have to choose to look for it. We have to choose to go and find it. We have to be that light sometimes whenever it appears that there is no light. With everything that's going on in the world, it would be very easy to fall into darkness and shadow and just stay there and never step forward and never trust that there's anything good. Or we can shift our mindset and we can shift our heart space and we can move into a space of being mindfully aware, being really caring and compassionate to ourselves, and then of actually allowing ourselves to realize that we've come full circle and that this is a time to really welcome in the new fresh time, because when something ends, something begins. So those are the cards that have come up this week. I'm going to leave that with you. I want you to think about how it feels for you. You know, do you get nervous when you see 4 major arcanas coming up in one reading? You know, do you get nervous when you see the likes of the Tower followed by the Death card? It's like, wow, okay, big hitters. But then the Strength card comes and gives you that gorgeous reassurance that you can handle anything and that this is all part of the cycle of life with the wheel. Interesting cards, really interesting to see what comes this week. As I say, I'm a day early because I'm traveling tomorrow, so I'll not be able to be live with you tomorrow. And I'll be in my Soulfire group tonight, running the final part of Soulfire, where we're going to be diving deep into strategy. It's been such a good lot of fun in that little group. It's been quite a petite wee group, but it's lovely to work with people. I love working in little small containers. So really excited to see what they bring to the table tonight and how I can help them with their strategy, and then see what we're doing going forward. But let me know if you catch this on the replay. Leave me a hashtag replay. Let me know what's going on. Let me know if any of these cards speak to you. Do you get a wee bit nervous when you see them, or are you strangely excited? Are you leveling up? Is there stuff going on in your life that's lifting you to the next level? Are you having to make any scary decisions right now? I know I certainly have. I made a decision yesterday that really made me go, but I knew at the same time it was the right decision for me. And I'm really excited as a result of it to see where 2024 will come. But I'll let you in on that later. Right now, I'm still percolating what's going on with it. So yeah, I definitely can feel the unexpected energy of the Tower and having to let things go having to let old ways of being go, old mindsets, old identities, shedding those. Because sometimes when we shed those, it's really quite frightening because we're not sure who we are until we establish our new identity. And that's where it's really important that you lean into your strength and your gentle strength, and you don't try and control everything, because as the wheel tells us, everything has a time and a place. Okay. Take from that what you will. I hope you enjoy whatever you're up to for the rest of the week. Please have a great time. Let me know in the comments if these cards spoke to you. And as always, if you're on the mailing list, I will pop out a replay of this for you and an audio version so you can listen to it instead if that is what floats your Lilo. So I'll see you later.